Vodafone presents the pre-match.
It's time for our famous Vodafone pre-match. We get to see the #1 North American team in Team Liquid go up against INTZ, who are famous for all the wrong reasons, Natu.
We're going down this path once again, aren't we?
Well, we don't have much to say against them because they've hardly played any maps. They're literally like the least active team. They're just playing through this. They're a bit of a meme. I don't know what else we can really go with this, mate.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, coming to this game, you expect Liquid to be 16-5ing them 2 times in a row.
Yep.
But then again, the second map in this series is going to be Dust 2, so you never know.
Yeah, the Dust 2 one is a little bit more interesting. We can go further into that.
That's a volatile one, but
yeah.
I guess we can get into that later. But yeah, I mean, obviously, the key factors to this INTZ lineup is KNG and Phelps.
Poor Phelps being stuck in hell.
I mean, it wasn't all lost. Last time around we saw them play, obviously. I mean, it wasn't pretty, but it was definitely not something that you'd say, okay, this is an absolute disaster. I thought it was great to see, first of all, that Phelps finally getting that room that he so much desires and needs to have because he's a super aggressive player.
Yep.
And if you put that kind of a player in a cage like he kind of was in SK, yes, it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to look good for him or his team. So you need to give him that type of room. And obviously in this lineup that he plays for, he will have all the room he needs and wants.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? We want to see this player who we've actually seen perform so well be able to actually flex his skills a little bit further, not be kind of pinned down in that situation. But despite us, especially me, memeing on KNG, the guy is actually a more than capable player. We saw this from him, right? He can perform up to standard. He can put the hurt on teams like Liquid, like MIBR. But it's the other pieces of the puzzle that we need to see starting to work on this lineup.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, KNG, you kind of do feel like you want to talk about him for the right reasons, which is that he is he played a major final, once upon a time, and he was a very, very capable player, obviously, and his issues were very much nothing to do with the game of Counter-Strike in that sense. But you're right. I mean, you need to see this compilation of players to be able to do things. It's basically like players from leftovers from Luminosity, along with these guys and Phelps and KNG, trying to make yet another Brazilian team to be competitive in the scene, in the North American scene. Now the question really is there enough depth in the Brazilian scene for you to have this many skilled lineups that are actually competitive?
Yeah.
I feel like maybe not. I mean, a team like Luminosity, if you compare them, I feel like they have the better pieces, but at the same time, they just don't have the cohesive composure. Their team play is horrible. Their tactical approach has been lackluster from what we've seen.
I agree.
And kind of the same storyline here for INTZ as well. We haven't really seen much, so it's a lot about individuals going ham. And we know in a game of Counter-Strike, it is never, ever, ever sustainable. You need to have those building blocks. Certain things you can fall back on when the KNGs and Phelps of the world don't go ham every single game.
What about this then, Natu? Get Luminosity, get INTZ, and you merge them together.
So you're saying
we take away the drama. We just
Lucas,
ignore all of that, yeah. So take away the bad parts,
Penny,
focus on the positives.
Phelps,
could that be a decent lineup,
KNG,
right? Because we've seen Luminosity. We weren't happy with their performance. We've seen INTZ and it's not been up to standard.
Listen, mate. There was a team called, let me think. Oh, yeah, Immortals.
Yeah.
Back in, last year.
2017.
So, yeah, that was basically what you're suggesting. So, obviously, they were a team that could do things. Also, a team that was very volatile. They had days where they were unbelievable, but the days that they just looked like an absolute mess. That one time they really had their massive peak was obviously in Krakow in 2017. Made a deep run in a major. After finally getting into a major, you kind of think, was Steel the one? The Brazilian Steel, was he the one, like the jail that was keeping this team together? Because of the other four kind of in a team were super fiery individuals as personalities. And we know Steel is a very laid-back person. So maybe, those four in terms of the individual skill, and then having someone who's more mellow, who's going to be able to kind of weather the storm when it does hit, because it's definitely going to hit when you have that kind of people on your team.
Now, before we talk about this storm any further, because I do have a few more ideas we can go into this now too. I want to look at a player who's been making a storm on the server. It is Twist. This man has been unbelievable as of recent times, and you're about to find out why.
Twist Van Dulken's performance at ESL 1 New York was a noticeable one to say the least. The 18-year-old Counter-Strike phenomenon showed great performances throughout the entire tournament.
Here's a man who can not even going for the deny of the bomb, but he gets 3 killed.
All the way to the grand final.
Ladies and gentlemen, your next grand finalist, it's Team Liquid!
In the grand final, Twist really showed world-class form.
Twist and Taco certainly can. That's bomb down now. They don't even know where Twist is. He's just devouring every single player in front of him.
As Twist tries to do everything to defend the bomb. 2 kills for him. Knows that he can pull Oscar off it, but he's gonna fight Stacks first. He's got that Twist! He's gonna try! And he turns it back with 4! Liquid steal a pistol!
In the end, it wasn't enough for Twist and Team Liquid to win the tournament.
He knows where the bomb is. He knows there's a smoke on it. He's got it. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Sonny's got away with it. Mouse Sports win it.
He did end up awarded as the MVP of the entire event. For sure, a bittersweet feeling for the young Canadian, but still a strong indication of his high level despite his young age.
Now, Twists, he is currently, if you look at the top teams in the world, if you look at just recent performance over the last 3 months, he is up there with Simple, Device, and then it's him. This man has been absolutely insane, and he is still so young. He's much younger than the other competition he's going up against.
It's even more than us.
Yeah. Thanks, just make us feel even older in our team.
So yeah, no, I mean, I think it goes without saying that you don't have a lot of players in this world that could get awarded an MVP award in a situation where you were on the losing team
Exactly.
of a final. We know how rare that is. It's only been Simple so far before, well, obviously before Twist got his own. So yes, he's a real deal. He's like, has a great swagger with his hair. Super
Yeah,
cool.
that was a good talking point.
But also just a beast on the Counter-Strike servers.
You know who also has a lot of swag with his hair? Mr. Launders.
Yeah, he's really gone to the deep end of the pool, hasn't he?
He's like, what do you call that animal? The American animal? Skunk, there you go. Skunk. He's got the skunk haircut on, guy. But we were kind of theory crafting, right? We were talking about what if we put the INTZ lineup and Luminosity lineup again to kind of bring back the old Immortals boys. If we didn't include KNG in that, do you think we could see a complete better roster? Because I'm not just disappointed in skill-wise with these teams, right?
Yeah.
I just think like they don't have what you saw in the past of these up-and-coming Brazilian rosters with a chance to really shine at the top level here.
Yeah. Where's the second threat in Brazil?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I mean, so if you didn't have KNG, you could still bring Phelps over. I think he would be really good on Luminosity. Phelps was really good on SK. It was just hard to fit him in, role-wise because he was too much like Fur. But he is still like one of the best players in Brazil.
Yeah.
He'd be amazing on Luminosity.
Yeah, I was just saying. You just need to give him some room because if you're an aggressive player like that, you put him in a cage. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, just lose the leash.
Now, what will work? Will it be Liquid or will it be INTZ here for Inferno? Scrawny, what are you thinking?
I think we just got to bet on how fast this game is.
Yeah. I think.
Is that what you guys did? Yeah.
I think Liquid have to pick up these games. INTZ are at the bottom of the field currently. They're down there. And so I'm expecting maybe like a good individual showing from a couple of players. I think last week when we were watching them play on Dust 2, I was pretty impressed with like the new guy, the new guy of Zand. I hadn't even heard his name before. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. And he had at least got my attention. So I'm just looking forward to individual plays. Let's get something to praise from them, but let's not be unrealistic and think that they can defeat Liquid. I just don't see it.
It's weird. They have like good enough players, but we don't rate them at all for some reason. So maybe in some time. But
no evidence, right?
No evidence, yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
And not especially on a map like Inferno.
Well, that is quite the story with INTZ. We haven't seen much from them. The more we do, the more we get to have a better understanding. But guys, you will give us a better understanding of how this game will go. It's time for Inferno.
Thank you so much, James. See you guys in a bit. And Launders.
INTZ, we saw them play Inferno once. Is that right? Did they play Inferno and Dust 2 versus MIBR? Once, yeah.
Yeah.
I think, if I remember correctly, and it's a weird thing because if I remember it, but I don't exactly remember why, it does the memory count, but I remember INTZ not being very good at all on Inferno, or their T-side looked very lackluster. And the thing was, MIBR were not playing up to standard either. They were just, the only reason the games got close, I think, was because MIBR just weren't playing well enough.
Yeah, so it was a 16-4 victory for MIBR over INTZ on Inferno.
Okay.
And that was coming off the back of an overtime loss versus MIBR on Dust 2. That was the game that really impressed me, was the one on Dust 2. And again, I don't know if we're going to get that same kind of level of explosiveness in their Counter-Strike, right? This is going to be much more tactically heavy. I don't know if they're going to be able to control Banana versus a team like Liquid. We talked about the rapid and explosiveness that Liquid bring to the table on this map. And that's very difficult to contain unless you have, you know, a multiple step emergency plan,
Definitely.
right? So what is your Banana plan? Well, right now it's going to be the 3-man setup, and KNG instantly gush. But Cello and KNG combined for 3. Excellent little hold here from the side of the CTs. Still, there's 2 of them up. Drops only to Nap for Team Liquid, and he is fighting his way out of this. He has all 3 of the frags currently for Liquid. And he's going to need those last final 2, but doesn't expect that man to be right there at the time being. Now he can just run to A.
Ooh. Just making it seem like he ran all the way, but he's going to have to take 2 fights.
They're going to
First man up. Oh. Wow. Small chance there. Yeah, a little bit of hope.
A little pistol round ace from our friend Keith Markovich.
Trying to think about how to make fun of his name.
I'm not making fun of it.
Markovarkovich.
Jabalabanowski.
Jabalabadoo.
I feel like all the guys on Liquid have cool names.
Nafly is Polish?
Yes, I believe so. Like Shroud.
Like Shrewd. A lot of talent in that country. Dense little country for talent amongst CSGO players.
One of the countries right now, I think, that's going through a development in terms of their Tier 2.
Yeah.
Revamping themselves and coming back at the international circuit.
Where does Snacks go? Where does Snacks go?
Oh, man.
Imagine if all things of Snacks joined Taz. I don't think it's possible, but...
I don't even know if I'd want to touch Kingwin. I like them. I like where they're at. I want to see what their ceiling is.
I want to touch Rowland's beard. That's what I want to touch.
I laugh because I can see you doing it.
Caress the beard. Group here. They've got a significant amount of utility. Lots of smokes.
Lots and lots of smokes for the execution. And the CTs on the other end will have only flashbangs. In fact, other than Horvey, it is only flashbangs for INTZ.
That's weird.
Here it comes. Gonna have to see if these weapons can lock it down. It's the double ump, and the first one's cleared. Zand had his face turned into the corner, and KNG manages a double. But it is Phelps up next, waiting for his teammates to arrive.
That was the same. I think it was a little bit less utility last time, but when they did it versus NRG, the chain flashes with the entry with Taco coming around the corner, he got up all in the sight as soon as they were turned around. He absolutely crushed the timing there. But now it's just 1v3. Nitro is alone. He can kill Horvey Phelps really easily. Excuse me. Oh, another player might die. This is a chance here. The time's ticking down. First kill comes out.
He's got to jump on the bomb.
He should be good. Yeah.
Doesn't have a kit.
Wanted to look for a kit. Does he have time to do this? It looks like it's. I mean, it's going to be really tight.
I don't think he does.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Just barely nailed it.
Things like that put me on the edge of my seat.
Skin of his teeth.
So he does manage it. One player up at the end. Obviously costly. And I want to retract a statement that I said just before this game went live. It wasn't actually Zan that impressed me, because he was 10 and 24 on Dust 2. It was Horvey. It was Horvey who was putting up numbers. You know, he was up there with KNG and
Wait,
Phelps.
what? I remember Zand on B doing really well.
Yeah, he was that B anchor.
Oh, no, he was just really bad, and then all of a sudden he had an amazing round.
Yeah, he had that solid 3-player hold from the back of B-bomb site. Like, he had kind of like what we saw from, I would say, like Cirque earlier today, where it was kind of like, well, where's he at? And then at the end of the game, you had these very impactful moments. So
no, I remember the round. I mean, you could see from sometimes one play how good a player is, and you saw that with Zand, that he was there. He was in there somewhere. There was a Zand in there somewhere.
Little Zand on the B side.
Zand, man with the plan.
And again, stats don't always tell us everything, but
Balls pop.
Never fun to be that B-side anchor, and Horvey's going to have to anchor A. Manages it perfectly fine.
Nice.
Last man up is Nap. This is looking great. Beautiful, beautiful conversion point there. Just making it look so easy. Taking damage on 2, but nothing further. And that leads us into the gun rounds.
So now we have a bit more clarity on what Liquid's plans are with just the economy, where they're half buying on the second and third round, I think because maybe they see honestly that they have like a 50% chance or better to win with the correct strategy, and then they can steal a round away earlier. So they're going to kind of try to diversify, not diversify their odds, split their. What am I trying to say?
Divide?
They're trying to put chips on a few different. They're playing
Split their bet.
Split their bet. Maybe I'm trying to say that, but instead of going all in and saving one full round. They're like 50% chance, 50% chance, keep the economy low, then buy up, and also could win on second and third round. Can you look up split the difference?
I can most certainly
next round. I need you to cast this round.
Okay. Do you, though? Do you really need me?
I need you, yes.
Oh, well, that's quite flattering. Watch a Liege just crack a skull open. Pinpoint accuracy with the SG. One of the most appealing things, in my opinion, when it comes to the Krieg over the AK is the fact that you have that absolute first bullet accuracy. And a very easy spray pattern once you get the hang of it.
Wow, look at that.
Flashbangs charging inwards and falling to Zand, who's in the process of burning alive. KNG with the double. Again, he's gotten a multi-frag here on the hold.
Well, these executes are amazing. Like, I like how many nades were going over and allowing their entrymen to just get out right in front of things as soon as everything pops. There's no time to counter nade. It's beautiful. No, okay, split the difference would be if there's a remainder, and then two people split the remainder. That's the difference. Yeah? Or whatever's left over.
I can't find a good definition of the one.
Okay.
I apologize.
John offered 60. Oh, there's an example there.
It was John offered 60, Henry offered 40, and so split the difference means meet you at $50. Kind of split the difference. A literal definition in their terms. I'm not about that. I'm on your side. It means something different. The dictionary's wrong.
Yeah.
But the retake's right. 4-0. INTZ off to what is a fabulous start out of nowhere.
Yeah, they've had to earn every single one of these rounds.
Yeah, it's not been easy. I mean, KNG with a couple of very important multi-frags on that B-bomb site. At some point, Cello's racked up 8 frags.
Sure. And it seems like every round, Liquid are going to at least half buy, which means that they have, and with the correct utility, that's terrifying. To every single round of the game. 15 rounds on T side, you're going to have to go up against what could be a half buy. That is a huge pickup from Taco to grab Cello as he crosses mid. They don't know that there's only one more person at A, but they are looking to capitalize on it, it seems now. Rotates her out, and banana control has been forfeited, so Ints are going to move down. Phelps also gets info here, but is it info too late?
Maybe, just maybe, Phelps not into position fast enough. Liege
Gotta get that bomb.
manages to drop another. Bomb will be retrieved before KNG does arrive, so that's not going to be a problem. Will delay the process, but the plant and inevitability. Zan can't do anything until KNG gets into position. He doesn't react at all.
Wow.
I feel like that's one of those moments where you're scratching your face or looking at your map for just a millisecond.
Yeah. And we're always on land these days, so maybe your teammates monitor or something.
Regardless, it does cost him, and then Zan tries to escape, but he too toppled by Team Liquid as they get their first round on the board. It comes in the 5th round, so it did take a bit of time for them to get that nut cracked, but most certainly is cracked now.
Mm-hmm. What comes out of the nut when it's cracked?
The inside.
Of the walnuts. The actual nut, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Nothing
edible
interesting.
part.
Yeah.
Is the whole thing the nut, or just the part you eat?
Google it. No, this would be hard to Google. Very hard.
I like walnuts. A good premium nut alongside cashews and almonds.
Cashew's obviously the goat.
Yeah, that's fair. Wonders, do you have any idea as to why this was just immediately set up on that heavy A site? Are they really trying to get out of Liquid? Because it's been such a consistent beef, so I thought.
Yeah, probably just want to being aggressive. They assume that it's not going to be something fast unless it's towards A, and they can take apart the default at least. But here's a bunch of CT aggression. Phelps goes back for more, flashes out, almost uses a tell, but Nitro gets killed.
Oh, man.
And Cello's right there as well.
Cello and Phelps just tore them apart. Frag after frag. I mean, Cello maintains that apps control. Even though the players have pushed past and jumped out Balk, he's the one that cut the man off inside of the staircase. And then we get this walk up from Phelps over towards Arch side. A Molotov thrown out by Liquid prevented them from just moving up truck lane. They're stood there in the duel. And like you said, he comes back for more. Goes for the old flashbang peek and manages to work it out. But Elige is still alive. 35 seconds on the clock. Smoke to block off the rotator on Library. This is an attempt to isolate duels. Could also just express plant. Zand at any moment walks through, but no. The gun's back up. 16 shots in the mag. Dodges the flash. Man walks through.
Oh, and he knows.
He knows exactly where he is now. His own flash is going to enable the rotation. An additional flash keeps Cello back, but he loses the duel. And that's going to be Ints to pick up a fifth. Liquid immediately reset.
Immediately. And we'll see actually now what implications the reset will have. They do have a little bit of money left over. And they have enough money to buy with the bomb plan as well. Did they go? They won 1? They spent all their money, they lost 5? How many did they save last round? Is a question. I don't know if you can see that.
No.
Okay.
Not without being in game or having a spectacular memory. I mean, are INTZ going to be turning into one of these teams like Luminosity where at times they look lost in certain matchups and then they come flying out of the gate with heavy hits? Because Cello's, near 15 frags at this point and he's just not stopping. Like nothing can convince him to fall back.
Yeah, he is that insane like sometimes and very inconsistent. Absolutely.
That's the thing, is it's all about how do you replicate that consistency?
That's a big question. That's an everlasting question for some people. I think in Cello's case, or in Nekis's case, they can get better. They're still very young in their careers. Actually, I don't know how old they are, but in terms of how long they've been playing CS:GO, I said that really strange. So there's still time for them to show themselves out without being worried. But they have high peaks.
Yeah, Cello 20 years old for the record.
He's a little baby.
Horvey as well.
Cello's got the off angle. Oh, but it's not good enough, actually.
Phelps finalizes his kill, but not fast enough to deal with all of the onslaught. Team Liquid managed the bomb plant. They have burst their way into B. And now they're sitting back on the other side of construction, keeping eyes towards spawn, where sure enough, Ints are standing. And now fleeing. They've gone ahead and called this one off, Mohan. That is a second for Liquid, and I'd say it comes at a crucial pinnacle point, because look at the money they would have had left over. Back into the save territory, and instead, they've found a second round.
But would it have been that bad? 500 or so each? I'm trying to do the new math now. It's like the 800 for the bomb plant on top of that, and then they get what would be third round loss bonus.
No.
Oh, they get 1 round.
Yeah, well, so...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
okay, so
it's like it only happens once, right, in each half. It's
so
only the first... You only start the half with a second round loss bonus. Once you win a round, and then, once your loss bonus gets reset, it goes back to the original 1,400. It's not 1,900 every time.
Okay.
It's literally
we were
only
seeing
the
in
beginning.
total. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I thought we were seeing in total. Okay, so it's just been kind of like
It's just
different games today.
That's what I'm saying. It's just the beginning of each half. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just the beginning of halves where that takes effect.
All right, that makes sense.
But it's it definitely, I think, creates this it creates questions because it's a substantial change. I know it's a substantial change. We just don't have a sample size yet to really see how much it's going to affect the meta, right? Our maps going to become more T-sided now, or what? We need more tournaments, more Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
Where's TW Grills? T Grills.
I need to get back and grind some CS. Easiest way to learn, or just get used to the changes. But it's interesting to see how every team has a different philosophy on how to approach.
Yeah, it's funny enough, I'd say the more favored teams have just been force buying, right? That's what we saw from Liquid when they were losing pistols versus NRG.
Yeah.
The only team that's really been very reserved with their buys up have been E United.
Yeah.
At least here tonight on the mainstream. And I think that's what's actually really cool is it's going to offer underdog teams a way to get into the gun rounds first. You know, they don't have to play versus the anti-ecos as much. They don't have to play into what can be those wonky rounds that somehow are robbed away at times.
Yeah.
You just play your textbook CS, and that's what you're supposed to be conditioning.
This is actually a round that INTZ don't have that much invested in, but are up 5-3. There's no one in pit, so that could be something nice for Liquid as they're coming out towards lane. Definitely the correct part of the map to go to. And I think he was spotted there. Alish, did you see him? Yeah, looks for the headshot. That spray was so nice, but his head doesn't pop up again until there.
And once it does, it is cleaned right off.
And again, no one in pit, so...
Flash 3 for Phelps, blinds 2. Excellently done. Does, of course, drop the bomb in the process. A peek out from KNG, nails the man in the back line, so it's all in the plant, and there you have it. Zand overwhelms. INTZ just encapsulating Liquid there within the bomb site.
Yeah, brand new team all of a sudden. Looking quite strong.
Like, this is a team, again, that lost, what did I say, 16-2? 16-4?
16-4 to MIBR.
And now all of a sudden are taking Liquid into what is a very difficult T-side. Because the money's still not great. We're going to get this late reinvestment from Liquid. They will put it all on the line, and it only comes with 2 guns. But those guns are in the hands of Twists and Alish, arguably one of the best duos in North America.
Besides us.
I made me smile, Launders. Young love.
This is a very rushed by. At the end of the freeze time, the nades come out and they're very confident in them. And KNG gets his 1 frag, but Twist is so ready for that position.
Yep. An immediate trade, grabs the op instead, leaving the gun behind for Nafly to retrieve after the fact. Remember, he's got Kevlar and a helmet too. So because of Alish's trade frag with that SG and Twist's kill with the AK on the push, utilizing the 2 weapons they held onto, they win this round.
And that's gotta, and that's gotta be why they have like kind of probably talked about how they want to just buy as much as possible, because they're just seeing ways to win, especially if they abuse the utility to its absolute maximum potential. If they have a really good execs, and it really seems like they do. These B execs are terrifying. I think also KNG, knowing one player's position can tell you where the other player is going to play a lot of the time. You know, especially. There's going to be some variation with the teams, but usually it's a setup where, you know, one player is Coffins, one player is Oranges. Guy Coffins takes a shot, Oranges flashes, Coffins repeaks, or some kind of thing like that, and it's not going to change too much. So they've got to be aware of that and make sure that they have enough variety that they can't get pre-fired in their spots, especially if one of them dies early.
See if we get any variation out of those setups. Because you're right, it has been consistent in KNG being there. Fire at the feet of Naf. Falls back slightly. This is supposed to buy time for them to go for the boost, which they are going to get up there eventually. Just in time. Horby playing the counter flash. Just gets spotted straight away. Cello trades sure with the double and the dink onto Nitro, but regardless, it is the clean sweep of the A bomb site here for Liquid. He did a fantastic job, but a little too late. His teammate above was dead. And if only an additional bullet lands to Nitro. The difference between a 3K and an even 2v2 retake attempt, but this is going to be a tough one for INTZ to pull out of the hat.
Looks like they won't even attempt it. They're kind of doing the lingering thing, huh?
Yeah, I want to...
Oh, they pick up a kit? Okay, that's all they wanted.
Ditch the ump. And sulk back into the B bomb site, to the depths of which they came.
KNG been fairly consistent, I feel like, in holding B site. At least getting a 1 kill, if not more than that.
Yeah. On a couple of the earlier rounds when Liquid were heading there, yes, he most certainly did pick up a double. Twice. But then we got that Alish/Twist entry combo that just kind of ripped him apart. And now we're watching them fixate on the A-bomb site instead.
Yeah. I would like to see more of the B explodes just because the the utility usage just looks perfect. It looks so good.
I want to see more of that from Liquid.
They're doing a lead-off thing that that's actually something I did with my team where we got a strat from MSL where on Long Beyond Cobble, they had a player push out to the corner of a smoke, throw all of the utility, and then he is just so far ahead. Like, he's literally in the smoke that the CTs throw, and you wait for it to go down. And it gives you such a head start, and the whole point is so that you can't get counter-naded. There's just no time. You throw a counter-nade, you could get killed for it. You could literally get killed while you throw your nade out, responding to the first flash that you see going over. Little do you know that the first person going out is meant to get half blind, and so you don't even know if you're allowed to peek.
Right. Very risky. Sometimes the risks are those with the highest rewards. And a play like Horvey is making, I think, is a good example of that. If these players trickle past him, if somebody goes unnoticed, we could be talking a knife kill. We could be talking an upgrade into Taco's AK-47. But they're splitting apartments. Bomb carrier included. Taco saw the barrel of the pistol. And that is death and demise here towards the A site. So 6-5. We had a strong start from the CTs, but Liquid starting to take back what was supposed to be rightfully theirs.
What's a new word you learned recently?
I'm not sure. Careened. Like the bullet careened off the wall.
Right, like just barely grazed it?
Yeah, exactly. Careened. That's not a word that I had never heard before, but just one that I started. Or I used scuff. I like that one too.
Careen. That sounds like another word you learned recently.
Careen. I don't know what you're referring to, and I'm too scared to ask.
You actually said it earlier.
Oh. Yeah. Die.
Sometimes it's interesting to use words that you don't know.
Hold on. That bullet didn't go through the edge of the wall, right? Alige actually posted this clip on Twitter of on Cash.
You sound like Vsauce right now. Like
Sorry,
you just,
I got excited.
Yeah, you just realized something and you're about to go.
It was a video of him on Cash trying to wallbang Z connector with an SG. And for whatever reason, the bullets of the SG specifically won't go through the wall.
Oh, they just have low penetration?
But I'm pretty sure they're supposed to go through it because he tried it with multiple weapons and the other ones seemed to work, but the SG just didn't.
Yeah,
He tagged FMP1, Pwn, FM Pwn.
Yeah, FM Pwn. Nobody knows, which I know now, but most people don't.
And yeah, so I was just thinking to myself, like, well, maybe this is another one of those instances. Maybe the SG's kind of broken.
I mean,
comes to wall banks.
Sorry, I have a cough.
It's all right.
I'm coughing. There's no players with coffins this time.
Zan jumps through smoke, head turned, and INTZ with a wild spray down. Manages pretty substantial damage, but doesn't actually pick up anything other than one. We've got that flank around from Phelps. We've got the rotate from INTZ over into the spawn. So the positioning's good enough to contain Team Liquid, but you don't want to just contain this. You need to get that retake rolling. You've got the pieces of the puzzle to do so. Smoke, triple flash, rifles aplenty, but you know how valuable those are. And I think now INTZ is being conditioned by Liquid to just fall back and go for the save, you know. The little wins are all they're fighting for, and eventually, it's not going to be enough. You're going to watch Team Liquid soar into the lead here on this T side, I think.
Yeah. And, you know, there's only so far that they can go, but in terms of the comeback, it was 6-1, right? So this is a pretty big recovery. Twist. Is he going to throw a flash? Okay. We'll never know. We'll never know. 2 players from Liquid die, and a lot of them were low. And it was kind of sad for INTZ there with their Behold. They tried to change it up a little bit. They had KNG at oranges and a player come through, Zen come through the smoke. But KNG was only able to do damage for the most part, only getting 1 kill on the hold, and Zen went down instantly. Sandman with the plan.
So this is one of those examples where it's like, you know, you had one of these moments where I think momentum could have been established from either team. Remember, INTZ, they pick up the pistol and convert for the first 3. They managed to win the 4th, but the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th rounds, those 6 are back and forth, no consecutive wins. all it takes at any moment there is for Liquid to lose 2 in a row, and that's a double save territory.
Yeah.
So at that moment, you know, we would have, like you said, seen that 6-1, I think, fizzle out into what could have easily been like a 9-3 at this moment. But instead, the game's all tied up, and if you have a tied game versus Team Liquid with 4 rounds of momentum going for them, I think that is a very strong sign as to them taking back this lead.
Yeah, like you're losing at that point.
Got some replays.
Yeah, there's a. I don't know. I think someone is just reconnecting. Oh, I think INTZ's ping has spiked a bit, so they're waiting for it to calm down.
All right.
Chill out.
That's fair. Let us all chill together then, friends.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see Elige so consistently using the SG. When I saw the update happen, I thought to myself, like, yeah, he'll pick it up more, but it's all he's been using.
He's made it
I think
his prerogative.
He is making it a point to
What
utilize.
is the difference between prerogative and objective?
Don't know. Pierogies?
It's one's a food.
Prerogatives?
Prerogative is your primary objective, maybe, and then objective is just a thing that you want to do that's on the list of things you want to do. Fine,
You gotta spell it right first.
It is
A hereditary or official right or privilege. A right or power that is exclusive to a monarch. A right
to make a
comma,
decision.
generally.
Okay.
The prerogative.
Oh, so I was using it incorrectly. I should not use that word like that.
Yep.
That's a very strange word to use then, actually.
It is.
Hard to use, but I hear it.
I think it's like,
very often.
people always say like, am I really gonna mind blank right now? Like, the pinnacle, no.
Precipice?
Yeah, that's one that you've got to be careful with.
Uh-huh.
Precipice, pinnacle.
Penultimate?
Penultimate, yeah. Yeah.
Second to last.
The second to last. That was literally the example, thank you. The penultimate, I always thought it was like the most important, like the climax, the one, but it actually just means second. Literally means second. Isn't that wild?
Oh man, our Australian producer told me a bunch of things, but I didn't hear any of them. Inferno Pro Tip video coming up now.
Oh, sweet. Let's check it out.
British. I meant British.
Hey Future Pros! Today we travel to Inferno to give you a hot smoke. This smoke will land in Arch. You are visible to mid when throwing this smoke, so make sure you already have mid control before lining it up. To do this smoke, get in front of this broom. Then aim to this window and move your crosshair up to the highlighted area and then throw. This will block off anyone playing in or outside of Arch, but be careful as they might try to re-peek from Library.
I didn't learn anything, but that's because I could make that video as well. How about you? Did you learn anything?
I feel like I'm a better Counter-Strike player already.
Okay, that's good.
Thank goodness for the pro tips.
I think that I like the eye graphic a lot. I think it's more so about how you teach it, you know? Because a lot of these things people know.
You need visual elements in a good lesson.
Yeah, I appreciated the...
Is it a pro tip if it's not a pro narrating it?
It could be a tip. It could be a very condescending tip for professionals from some random person.
I see your point.
I guess. But yeah, that's a very fair thing to question.
So,
can you condescend someone who...
Why'd that just change black?
I guess you can condescend someone who is smarter than you. Yeah. Can you? Is mansplaining the same as just being condescending?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to talk about this.
Or are you a mansplainer?
I don't think so. But
does Sophie think so?
It's not my fault if I just know better.
Oh, we're about 2 minutes away.
I know why the... so I was looking at the inst thing up top, and it went from blue to black. I thought to myself, I've never seen this happen, but I think it's because they all quit the server.
Uh-huh.
So their team is dead now.
Oh.
Let's see what Prius has in
That was
store
quick.
for us.
Oh, is there
sorry,
in-house?
in-house.
Okay. Marcus. That's how they say it in Australia. Like Rushley would say, he would call McDonald's Macca's.
Macca's?
Yeah, they call it McDonald's.
Oh yeah,
Macca's.
Macca's. Yeah, Macca's. So Macca's.
Eat some markers. Okay, we saw the boiler inside the boiler. What else is there on Inferno?
I'd like to look for glitch
Guess
chickens.
what? Chicken butt. Guess who? Chicken poo. Guess why?
Why?
Chicken fry.
Any nice skins on the floor? What do we got? We got a desolate space. We've got a buzzkill M4. A Styx,
I don't remember any of the
Bombus.
Styx. Yeah, that's right.
Let me see if I know my skins. What are the pistols?
Oh.
Oh, that's the kill confirmed.
Wow. I don't know.
Again, the Styx Bombus that was on the
whether
ground.
to be impressed or disgusted.
Vanilla, kill confirmed. Ugh,
Vanilla USP is the best skin, man. It's great. Looks nice. Nice and clean. I have a $1,000 sticker on my vanilla USP.
Deal? What sticker?
It's an LGB Holo from Katowice 2014.
I have a hollow Hellraisers.
Nice.
On my. So you want to hear a cool story? This is actually, I think this is kind of cool, right? I think this is cool because it's like it all happened before like casting ever started for me. I had an M4A4 radiation hazard. Okay.
Set the stage. So you were homeless,
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
No education.
In jail, working.
Ugly.
Clarified. But point being, M4A4 radiation hazard, and it had a hollow Katowice 2014 Hellraiser sticker on it. I put a holographic Angel signature on it because Angel's my favorite player on Hellraisers.
Okay.
Great player. So I've got this gun, and I put a name tag on it, and I'm thinking, oh, it's cool. It's a radiation hazard, so I name it M4A4 Chernobyl. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yeah.
fast forward, 2 years later.
Okay.
I'm in Ukraine for
Yeah.
Star Ladder's Betsnets event.
Oh my
and
gosh. Okay. How does
Hellraisers is at this event.
Right.
But before the event starts, I have an off day in Ukraine. And where do I go?
Chernobyl.
Chernobyl. So the only reason that I got to go there and see Chernobyl in person is because of Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
At an event that Hellraisers then won.
Right.
And when I got home, I looked at that skin and I was like, wow, this is the culmination of my entire
It
experience.
was the precipice of events.
Can you imagine that?
That's cool. I've never been to Chernobyl. I would like to go.
It was an eerie place. But a lot of good fun.
Did you get radiation poisoning?
A little bit. You actually you're exposed to more radiation taking an airplane from Europe to North America than you are on a day trip to Chernobyl.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
Because
good to know.
when you're on a plane, you're closer to the sun. Fun fact: grenades exploding into the face of KNG. That behold that we praised, well, not going to really stand the test of the fragmentation. Phelps, however, patient. On the other side, will manage to keep this at least into the 3 versus 4, but his teammates aren't coming over just yet. He's trying to erect a defense single-handedly, and he's doing a decent job, but the bomb's coming over, and his teammates still stand still.
Bomb goes down. INTZ haven't made any movement. I think they expected the bomb to go down a lot earlier. And this is what Inferno is about. You lose V2 early, yet you don't have time to get to the site. But I think they maybe would have started moving over if they knew the bomb was left all the way down at mid. Little did they know they could have just barreled down mid and fought and stopped the bomb from ever reaching B when they had already given up sitting on the A site just 10 seconds ago.
May I add an anecdote to my skin story?
Sure. There's no rules here.
The coolest thing, actually, now that I remember, was that one of the 3 maps in the grand finals was Cache, which
Chernobyl.
is in Chernobyl. And do you know who the MVP of that map was? So it really was like the full package deal.
Nice.
I'm excited just thinking about it, Mohan. But I'm also excited because Liquid are starting to mount what is quite the half out of what was a fantastic start. Remember, 6-1 to 6-7. Oi. But at least we're back into the guns for INTZ.
I wonder if Rush says cache.
I know the Aussies do. It very clearly states cash.
He says it like Juicy J.
I thought Rush was an observer. It's a
No.
producer too.
He's Australian. Who knew?
Jack of all trades.
Can really do it all.
Straight up from Bao. Corby, good cover. Manages to catch twists over the shoulder of the front man. Naf still unable to trade him until finally that op does connect. Then Naf is down. Op swap to the hands of Nitro. Him, Taco, and Elige will all join hands and parade back into the safety of their spawn, where Lil Xan is about to betray them. Hello?
Okay, he can let that. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks. It's 3v3 now. And they got info, yeah, but they're still a minute up. And this op almost got a kill from bottom mid. They're going towards B. Cello's here alone. He has been huge. Ooh. And that's the round over.
Man, Elige catching Xan.
Oh my gosh, they're actually going to
rotate. What a bunch of nerds.
What are they doing? They're trying so hard. Oh, okay. Well, the trade's worthwhile. 2v1, Phelps.
Have they decided where they're going yet?
I think they now want to go back to A. Unluckers.
Looks like Phelps has wind of this.
What a strange game.
This has been a very bizarre game. I feel like the it's been like a little weird to work out just in terms of like the pacing. Like we'll go from really fast to really random into 2v2s, a 5-man standing type scenario. It's been all over the place, Launders, but even abstract art is beautiful. The blind side, not so much.
Yikes. Just as he finishes off with that angle, doesn't clear it deep enough. There's actually, excuse me, all kinds of angles like that, like off angles as they're called, where if you just stand in a place, it's like a place that you would see someone walk right into, but it's always from their perspective an angle where they'll be looking at something else. This is something that really needs some visual help, I think, but you should always try to look for those angles, you know? As you're coming in to clear a site, think about where you stop clearing an angle, and then think about standing there on the other side, if that makes sense.
Yeah, we have this conversation when we talk about, like, you know, players who are specifically good at pushing apartments. Well, they're specifically good at defending apartments as well.
Right.
It's like if you know the kryptonite to a certain situation, then you're informed on both ends of the spectrum. Oh, you dodged those shots, Phelps.
Op still stands, though.
Just careens off the side of his head.
Ooh, very nice pick. That was huge.
Left Cello still in the corner, waiting for them to walk in, but Team Liquid could just decide to go entirely the other way. They're going to boost the player up. That could enable him to throw his feet back up onto the balcony. This is one of those like awkward entry attempts.
Nice.
Where you can jump forward and find a bunch of different angles, but you don't always end up finding anyone at all.
Damn, did Nitro just get out opposite?
It's very possible.
Wow,
actually.
look at Phelps. He's peeking out. Oh, never mind.
He just got SG'd. Cello's going to make his move. Runs through smoke and dies to twists. Does deal damage. 2 of the 3 still up for Liquid are tagged quite substantially. Horvy's not going to emphasize the duels. Instead, tries for the after plant, but that's not going to work out. Nafly bails his team out of what was a tricky situation. It's still not easy either. The entirety of Team Liquid within this bomb site. The problem being for INTZ is that they weren't near enough to know for certain. There could be players in pit, graveyard, possibly even behind them in Balk. But reality is they're all in this site. And even then, how are you going to crack open this nut? So well fortified. The A bomb site, 9-6 the half. What a turnaround from Liquid.
Unreal. There was just so many ways that Liquid could have lost that round. And I honestly want to say that it was individual mistakes from ENTZ that allowed that to happen. Like the play from pit, that probably should have been a frag. And then the clearing from Zand into the A site, he completely whiffed or missed a player who was in front of him trying to clear that close box. But at the end of the day, Liquid win the round. They don't get to rest on that anymore. Move into the second half, and we get to see INTZ on T side.
I'm excited to see what they can make of it because I feel like I kind of want to put INTZ into like the Luminosity camp, where it's like, you know, their T sides can be so aggressive and explosive that's where they you know can sometimes carve out a name for themselves. Things get a little more complicated on the CT side at times. Not many people believing in the comeback here in terms of bettors. But what do they know?
Again, it was 6-1. It was 6-1.
This is a huge amount of utility for INTZ.
Yeah.
Smokes, flashes, even a decoy.
Assume there would be some kind of fake involved. At least a fake exec. Moto smoke goes out, flash to the corner, and Phelps is here to wrap. I like this. Oh, but the smoke is not good enough. Nitro picks a great angle to deal with that, and now he has the bomb on the balcony, so he just pushes inside.
Yep. Looks like he's actually coming back for a little bit more. They realize that CT is susceptible, but even then, it is a leash to win another duel. They found out where Horvey is, but it's still a question mark above the head of Cello. Inside of the apps is the answer. Horvey's trying to do something to call the attention away. This would enable Horvey to combine his forces with Cello.
Twist can hear all of this.
Takes him above his face. There's the peak of twists. And he just executes them both. He's had enough. This pistol is over.
Yeah.
Team Liquid 10-6.
That went on a little bit too long for Twists. He was not comfortable letting it get there. There was a good chance. I liked how Nitro played it in particular, just the way that he pushed out to make sure they couldn't jump out, because obviously your targets are going to be harder to hit once they're flying through the air and once they're out on the site, and that's when it gets really messy. Stopping them in the choke point is much better. Could you give him that prerogative?
I don't know.
Give him the prerogative to stop the players from coming out of balcony. Is that the correct usage of the word?
I've never used that word, so I don't think asking me for help is a good idea.
Okay. Usually that's the case anyway. But I'm just gonna wipe that one from my
Prerogative?
from my.
Just gonna get rid of it?
Yeah.
I watched I watched back actually some of the VODs from last week after our cast.
Doing a lot of vocabulary.
I counted at one point, man. I used the word like one of the games like beautiful at least like 20 times. So that's one that I've wiped. And I haven't used it, I don't think yet today. Maybe once or twice.
For hitch words, yeah.
Yeah, it's you know, I always wonder like if people care about this kind of stuff when it comes to casting, but like
Oh, of course they do. Oh, you mean other casters or other people?
Other people and casters. I mean, I hope that other casters do.
I think the rule is that it's just you're burning people. I always look at it as you're burning people's ears by using the same words too often.
So it is
variety
an
is the
active
spice
process.
of life.
It is, and there's nothing, you know, there's nothing with more variety than linguistics. I could just start speaking another language. Think of all the options I then open.
Options open, like INTZ's options on banana. Well, they got Liquid to shy away. That's not been easy to do. We saw Energy struggle with this in their map. And what happens? They've got no one in the site.
It's going to be the walk-up. They're hoping that the attention is pulled towards the bomb site. Now, after the spray, that's when Elish decides to go peeking over. You don't want to stand on the front of those planters because then you're exposed immediately to the T's who walk around. If you wait to strike, that's what happens. That's seen from Elish, who goes back for more second servings.
Bonus round, man. They just don't even want to risk losing it this many people. The flash is great. Dink is out. And he lives. No damage dealt.
Cello just slapped in the face, has no clue where it comes from and where the hell he went. So it's still the 3 versus 3. Team Liquid moving forward now. They've got that Molotov, which could so easily burn KNG into the open, and it will be at his feet. He is split open from Twists. So it's Banana and Emo, the crossfire set. Good kill from Horvey, just trying to lock down this bomb. He's going to get pushed in from Twists, and that is it. Jumping on the bomb is Taco. He has the kit for the defuse, and that is Liquid to a 12.
Crazy to think there. Twist dies, it's game over. Taco has the defuse kit, but he's got to come all the way to the corner just to be able to kill the person that is stopping the defuse from happening. So Twist and the Liquid take a round, 12-6, and it's just been so long since INTZ have won a round at this point that started to wonder why we ever had high hopes. That's such a rude way to put it. I don't even know.
No, but this is fair, right? You're talking about a team who has a couple of players we know have some, you know, incredibly high skill ceilings. But there's also a lot of improved talent around them. So why would you think that they could best Liquid? A team that has been
Yeah, and just the amount of time they played together and all of this.
Yeah.
So who is calling actually on INTZ? Do we know?
I don't.
Okay.
I would imagine.
K&G?
I genuinely don't know. Again, unfortunately, it's just one of these teams that I'm not too informed with.
Or would it be? Yeah, this is something we should find out. There should be like an IGL, like, you should have your own icon, you know? Even if you're only calling for the match.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things where it's like
it's the only role I think where that's like very strict.
Sometimes players will be like a little off. They'll be a little like off put. Hold on, let's come back to this because the gun round is about to unfold. Taco charges through a smoke grenade. We've got this exchange down towards Banana that most certainly favors Liquid. Clean sweep, leaving Cello 1v5. So yes, this round is most certainly done.
That round, they decided to do the B split, but typically you only go for the arch control once you've cleared up Banana, and they didn't even have top Banana control, so they just got stuffed, basically. They just stuffed the QB at the bottom of Banana while they tried to perform 2 halves of a split with half of the attention needed for both. And so they both kind of fell apart, but what would have been better is they just had the 4 people or so work on Banana, get them to go off of top Banana. We saw that they could do that versus Liquid before, and then once they do that, get them in the site, try to control the rotations, go back to Arch, then split through CT with the whatever majority of people or whatever you want to do.
You know, there are many pieces to a puzzle, and it's important to put the border down first. In this case, taking Banana was that border.
Right, yeah, that's a good way to put it.
It not only is obviously a big, important part in and of itself, but it facilitates doing step 2, which would be grabbing Arch side.
Be crushing the puzzle and throwing it in the garbage. Because puzzles are done. Do you like doing puzzles?
I have done one full puzzle in my life.
Like a big one?
Yeah, a big one of Machu Picchu, because I've been.
Ooh. Oh, you've been to Machu Picchu?
Yeah, man.
You hiked up there?
Yeah, I hiked.
Oh my gosh.
I hiked for...
you were all up in the clouds?
I hiked for 3 days on the same trails that the Incans used to use.
That's so cool. I've really wanted to do that.
You can take a train and bus, but I hiked for 3 days.
No, the hike is what it's all about, man. That's sick. I have some respect for you now.
Some is better than none. And you should tell INTZ the same thing, because once they've got these 6 rounds, it's been nothing since. Even the kills have started to trickle entirely to the favor of Liquid, as has this round, and of course, soon to be this map, so it seems. They're not out of it just yet. They will have one more buy in them, but it is just forced to the floor at this point. Everything, every round, not much to lose.
And in terms of standings, where are we at for INTZ?
Let's take a bit of a gander.
We know they're not doing too well, but are they out?
No, they're not. They're actually sitting currently in 7th. They have 2 wins and only 1 loss.
Okay,
one
so they
loss,
haven't even
one
played
overtime loss.
Oh, so wait, how do they only have 1 loss? Because, they lost 1 in overtime. Both their losses are to MIBR.
Yep.
So, okay.
And I mean, so here's the thing, right? It's like, this is why I'm not worried for INTZ, because we saw a strong start. We've seen some promising individual aspects, and now from their losses, they're gonna have losses versus MIBR and Liquid.
Yeah.
So what?
So what?
So what?
No shame in that.
The rest of this league is still, I think, very open for them to contest with.
That's true.
So, it's once more where it's like, I hope nobody gets offended when we kind of sometimes write teams like them off, but when they're playing versus Liquid, you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Like Liquid should also be writing these guys off.
For sure. Yeah, this is more of a how bad do they lose kind of game, because they shouldn't be winning in the first place. But yeah, it was like Natsu said, it's just no proof. You need to have proof. Where are the results? And that they know that. I mean, that's what they're here to prove. Here's Nitro.
Nearly nails a collateral. May have actually been the leg onto Horvey. I believe it was. Look at his leg twisted backwards. Ooh,
yikes.
Gruesome. Just like that peek in from Taco.
The Molotov is so good. Oh. I think we're okay. The Molotov stops the bomb. They can't collect it. And K&G dies. Zand, left alone, can't get the kill. Taco gets 4.
Big multi-frag. Again, individually speaking, like look at the kill distribution room here for Liquid head to toe. Elige, Taco, Naf, that's where the lead is coming in from. And then Twists and Nitro still just not that far behind them. So when the entirety of Team Liquid are going off, when all the pieces are starting to click, you are reminded as to how good this team truly is.
Yeah.
Because I feel like of the conversation in terms of individual talent, Taco's the one that's kind of always left out. And he's supposed to be. He's not meant to be that, star fragger.
Yeah.
But you're talking about a major champion.
Yeah.
So when your least recognized talent
Has
is a
won 2
major
majors.
champion, you've got quite the roster in your books.
For sure. So the crunch is on. They're in mid. They don't want to have to deal with this though. They want to be able to kill anybody coming down from the top of Banana. Phelps gets a very important frag that opens up the map quite a bit. Naf is going to be a little bit more timid now, knowing he's the only person on B, and the 3 players on A have to decide whether or not they rotate. Here, they're going to reclaim mid. I like this. Flash goes out, probably. Nope. Oh my goodness. They just kill everybody, including
Just adds
Taco.
Taco to the equation. Why not?
Oh my god. They
What a
just 2v.
clean sweep to finish off map 1. That is it. Team Liquid turning things on its head. I mean, remember, 6-1 to 6-16.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Liquid putting on a show, making rapid work of INTZ. They had some promise there at the start. There were some big individual plays. I was especially impressed by Cello on an individual level. It is, by the way, for the record, Horvey as the in-game leader.
Okay, yeah.
So, nice to see him putting up some individual skill when in reality he has an extra burden. And just props to them. Let's switch over to that second map between them and Liquid and see if they can give us, again, a strong start or maybe even a win.